everyone. This is Tea Time with Paula R. Amor, and I'm super excited about this episode. We're going to be talking about the duality of a being, and I have my friend and sister, the queen herself, Dr. Tye Freeman. I almost hit that D word. Dr. Tye Freeman, ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited and humbled at the same time that you have joined me on Tea Time with Paula R. Moore. So what's been going on? What's been happening?
First of all, I'm super excited to be here and talk. We have some really good conversations.
We do.
And to share them with others now is a great thing.
Yeah.
And life has been great. This is the perfect season for me to talk to you.
Oh, wow. That's great to know that this is the perfect season. It's good to know that there are seasons that you don't want to communicate and you don't want to give too much information of yourself to people. And I think that's a healthy boundary. And I feel like people need to learn more or accept that about themselves, especially in this social media driven society. I feel like we overshare.
We do.
We overshare even when we're mentally not well. Or our seasons are mentally challenging. We just overshare, and I feel like I see, as your friend, as your sister, I see that you are in a good headspace to share and talk about this topic that we're going to be talking about. And so, well, first of all, where are you from, Tye?
I'm from a little bitty town called East Chicago, Indiana. It's about 20 minutes outside of Chicago. So when I go home, I fly into Chicago. When I commute over to Indiana, that is where my family is. So
okay. So you know what good food is like.
I do, and it's not here. I miss that. That is one of the biggest things that I miss is the food.
I can imagine. But now, that's considered what, the northwest
corner of Indiana.
Okay, northwest corner of Indiana. So what I love the food. I've never been to Chicago, by the way. However, I know a lot of Chicagoans, or a lot of, is that Chicagoans?
Chicagoans. Yeah.
Chicagoans that reside here in Georgia, in the state of Georgia. Yeah. And from the food to the fashion to the personalities, it's like, y'all are really fly. Y'all are really fly. I be watching you. You be coming to the shows all sharp. I was like, that's a bigger. And your shoe game is like, girl. The shoe game, listen, y'all gonna catch her on another episode, and we gonna have a shoe cam by the time, and y'all gonna be checking it out, cause baby, but we doing the casual thing, comfortable thing. It's been raining like cats and dogs here.
Extremely, for 2 days.
2 days.
We got a full day of rain today. So.
Honey, and this episode almost didn't happen today because it was raining a little too much for mother. But we're gonna be talking about. Tye, we're going to be talking about today, I'm really excited about how do you master your duality, the balance between who you are privately and who the world expects you to be. So a little bit of background about Dr. Freeman and why she's a doctor, she's a real doctor. And she is a psychologist.
Psychiatric nurse practitioner, but that's okay. You're in this.
I'm in the same area.
Yes.
Girl, I've been calling you a psychiatrist all this time.
Come on, psychiatric nurse practitioner.
Girl, you be helping me out with my problems, and I be having some intense stuff behind the scenes. People think my life is really about their beach life, and I don't have no drama. I mean, I don't have any intentional drama. I think I want to say there's just some things that you can't help in life. But you've been there for me.
You have been there for me through an extremely rocky season.
Yeah. God
placed you in my life, and He knew who to place and when to place them.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for that.
Oh, wow. So I'm grateful. I'm humbled. And I want you to share with the viewers out there, what is that? You said give me the title again. It's a bunch of this.
A psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner.
A psychiatric
mental health
nurse
practitioner.
Girl, break all the words down.
Yeah, it's a lot of words, but essentially what it is we practice psychiatry just like a psychiatrist would practice. However, we are nurse practitioners, so we add a nursing philosophy to it. So, my doctorate is in nursing practice. I focused on Black men's health, but my certifications, yeah, it's needed, right? You tie in psychiatry with Black men's health, and I was blessed to start off in family practice. I started off as a family nurse practitioner and then went back during COVID. I had some things going on myself during COVID, and just feeling the things that I was going on and listening, right? Because we couldn't see anybody, but listening to things that I was hearing, I was like, do I really want to do psychiatry? And I kid you not, somebody called me to be my student for a doctorate program, and she said, you really should be a psychiatrist. You need to go into psychiatry. And I was like, psychiatry? That's not something I'm interested in. You know, but it's funny how God will press you into something that you didn't even know you needed to be pressed in. And that was not only for all of the people that I serve and practice, but it was also for me. Things that I needed to heal within me through this whole learning of a whole new aspect of being a nurse practitioner.
Wow. So thank you so much for breaking that down, because honey, I'm like, she a doctor, she hear people's problems and she help us work it out, okay, mentally. But you do have that nurturing side from that nurse.
From being a nurse. That's the difference oftentimes between a psychiatrist and a psychiatrist. We're trained differently. We get to the same conclusions typically, but we go about it a different way. We definitely have a more personalized approach, more of nurturing, caring, compassion. Not to say that physicians are not, but the practice is different from that aspect.
I can tell. I've sat with psychiatrists before, therapists, and it's a little rigid. You know what I'm saying? And being that you have that nurse side of your practice, I feel the nurturement. I don't feel like I'm just another person. Not that I'm your client either, or your patient. I'm her sister, okay? And I just happen to have a professional sister that's a professional doctor, right? And so I'm not saying I get free services either, because I don't want y'all to think that y'all gonna be able to come and sit on her couch for free. But anyway, what I'm saying is, I feel the softness. I feel when you sit down and talk with me, and we talk about all kinds of things, and I bring an issue to you. You just have this softness, this gentleness. It's not, and you don't come from a place like you already have this thing, figure like you're smarter than me. You don't come from that, like, let me prescribe you this so you can get over that. No, it's just like I can see you listening. And I think you listen not just from a nurse place, but also a mother. And that's where that nurturement comes from. And I appreciate that about you. Just as a friend, as a sister. So that's Tye on a professional level, okay? Now, her information will be down in the bio section if you are looking for a therapist.
I do some therapy work, but mainly prescribing. So anxiety, depression, schizophrenia.
Okay. Oh, really?
But the thing about it is, if you're doing your job effectively, you're prescribing and you're giving therapy at the same time.
And I feel like you're gonna do all of that.
I do.
You're gonna do all that. Before we get into your personal life, I gotta go back to something what you said about your profession, is that your target audience, your demographics is Black men. So how did you, as a Black woman or a African American female, desire to assist Black men or a Black African American men with their mental life? How did you get to that desire?
Yeah, God blessed me with some really, really great men in my life. Also, I am a mother of a son. I have one son. I was also married at the time, and just really saw the things that Black men go through. Not to say that we don't go through things as Black women, but the landscape is a lot different from them. That is a population, to me, that is looked over, meaning even when you do a health or medical study, we tend to study the Black population as a whole, and we don't isolate Black men to see, what are the results just for them for hypertension,
right.
or what are the results just for them with anxiety and depression. We lump all Black people together. And Black men are different. They have a different way that they relate. They experience different traumas than we experience as Black women. They have a different way that they need to be able to receive. And one thing that I noticed was we don't do that as a culture. We have all of these different nonprofits and programs. We'll gear them toward Black boys, but we forget about the Black man that's 18 and up. So for me, that became a passion. Like, let's not forget them. They are the backbone of our families.
Right.
And if they're not, they should be. And
right.
we need to help them get there.
Wow. I think that's really powerful, man. And something's going through me right now. I too am a mother to a Black boy. And well, he's a man. He's 34 years old. And I can identify with what you're saying from this side of the fence, because my son, he's a pastor. Well, first he's a man, right? That had to grow up in a society that really hates him, right? And then he is a professional. He's a businessman. He is a son. He's a father. He's a husband. He's a pastor. He's a friend. He's all of these things. And I rarely see men who walk in that type of, existence have people or someone there or an outlet that they can sit and talk about their mental, you know what I'm saying, without being looked upon as weak or crazy or, just a incompetent person. And we do have a lot of Black males that walk around feeling incompetent because they can't talk about what's going on with them mentally, physically, soulishly, and spiritually, and financially at times. You know what I'm saying? And so I can imagine the frustration that our men had to deal with in our community for so long. And I just listening to you, I love doing this podcast because then I start hearing God on different things, like how we can meet the needs of, especially people within our community. And there's something I want us to talk about a little later, but that's later. But thank you for your commitment and your dedication and your heart posture to be able to provide these types of services for the Black male. I appreciate you. And God typically sends angels in the earth to complete heavenly assignments, and I do believe that you've been sent as an angel. So we're gonna partner the Greenhouse Project. I see something that we can do together with your organization. So you have a nonprofit.
I do, but I want to put pause. Something you said, you list all these great attributes about your son. You know what I find? People do not give Black men credit. We don't often, even as women, right, come out and say, I appreciate you. I acknowledge that you did this. I acknowledge that you are connected to, being a spiritual being, that you're a friend, that you're a father.
Yeah.
They need those accolades. We know them, but do we verbalize it to them?
Wow.
Because that is empowerment for them. We have to empower our Black men. Yeah. I think we just look at them as being, a strong backboard for us, but we need to take the role to empower them, give them their flowers while they're here, right?
Yeah.
Praise them for the things that they do.
Yeah.
And it takes the right woman to do that.
Right.
Let's just be honest.
Right.
It takes the right woman to do that. But those are things that we need to do. A man wants to feel appreciated. That was one of the biggest things I learned during my research. They want to feel appreciated.
Wow.
And we don't do it.
Yo, so this is what I want to say this on tape. I want us to do a father-son dinner, intimate thing here, where you can talk to the men. we're gonna get sponsors for that, y'all, and because I want them catered to. I want to bring in a chef, and I want to set it up real nice for about 10, 15 fathers or just men, Black men in general. If you don't mind coming in and talking to them, I think this is what's necessary and needed in our community. So to the topic.
Okay.
To the topic, because now we about to jump into Tye's personal life. Y'all gonna get mine too, because I'm the main character of this podcast. I'm the main character, so I'm gonna spill the tea on me. You know what I'm saying? But I always want to make sure that it's inspirational, very intentional on the things that I share about my private life. And so we're going to tap into your private life and talk about the duality. You know what I'm saying? How do you balance that out? Being that we are beings of a feminine energy and a masculine energy. And as your sister, I know you've shared some things with me about your private life. You just coming out of. Can I?
Go ahead.
Okay, so you're just coming out of a 20-year marriage? 25. Good God. Okay.
Long time.
Yeah, long time. Where you played the role, although he was the male or the man in the marriage, but you wore the role, I feel like, and I was going to say, I got to be honest, I feel like you wore more the role of being the husband.
Yeah, and that wasn't right.
Yeah.
Just being, when you look at, you have to do introspection, looking at yourself. And that is where I needed improvement. That came from a place of codependency, just feeling like you can't trust somebody to do something and manipulating things to be the way that you want it to be, and then not allowing a king to be a king.
Wow.
Not allowing a king to be a king. A man's role is to lead. And, lead and control is two different things, let me be clear. But a man's role is to lead. And a leader is someone who makes the best decisions for everyone. That's a leader. A controller, of course, looks different. I'm telling you what to do, when to do, how to do it. But that was one of the things that I learned as I went through my own self-healing and reflecting on things that I could have done differently in the marriage. That was one of the biggest things, taking a step back and not being controlling. Let a man do what they need to do. Because I wasn't serving him or me any good. Couldn't see it necessarily when you're in the situation, because especially when you've been in a marriage that long, you tend to, things become just things that you do frequently. But now, like really walking into this new space, understanding the importance of me staying in my role and letting a man be a man and lead, because he is a king. And we have to support him being a king.
Yeah. So why do you think there are certain men that get into relationships? Let me start with the man side of everything. Thank you so much for sharing that part of your side. But why do you think that men get into these relationships? And I call them broken men, because a broken man cannot fulfill the role of a king or a husband or a father, like he should. But why do you think men go into these relationships? How do I want to put this? Not knowing they cannot serve in that capacity, because that brings on a lot to a woman. But go ahead.
Yeah, just to be honest with you, I'm not sure they know when they go into the role that they can't serve in that capacity. I'm not sure. It's about, again, self-awareness, doing some introspection. Sometimes, we do things all the time that we don't know if we can do it. We get in it, and most of the time we navigate and figure it out.
Right.
But I'm not for sure a man always knows. I do think that rearing plays a large part of it. Also think, people need to acknowledge we all have some trauma from being young. I mean, nobody's childhood is perfect, right? We might think so, but there's just trauma rooted there. And if we don't identify it early, whether you're a woman or a man, it spills into your relationships as an adult. And I don't think, men know that all the time. I think they come into it with great intentions, right?
Like, I got this.
I got it. Yeah, you think you do.
So do you think they got it because they got a penis?
I think society tells them that they have it because they have a penis. Not you're listening to what you hear.
Yeah.
And not giving them a space to be vulnerable. We don't often give men a space to be vulnerable. Yeah. Don't cry, go do this, go do that, make this happen. And we don't feed that emotional well-being.
Right. So I wanted to say penis first. I didn't want to say the money. But because sometimes women, we get caught up with the penis before we get caught up with the money. True. But now we are in a season where women are just getting caught up with the money, and they're accepting the men who cannot perform as a king or as a husband or protector, provider, in not just a providing from a financial place or a materialistic place, but spiritually, covering, a spiritual covering. And so did you see those things? Because you say he was married for 25 years. Did you see some of the signs that he was not capable of leading you before you got married to him?
To be honest with you, you're talking about a 25-year marriage that started very young. Mm-hmm. You don't know what you're walking into a lot of times when you're young. You don't know if that person is going to be a good provider or a good protector. You're coming in at, like I like to say, ground zero both. And expecting to build together. Right. Not to say you should not get married young. That is not what I'm putting out there. But there are some things that you just cannot know about a person when you marry young. Those are the things that you are still figuring out. Right. So did I see things? Probably, but then you're already in this mode of just making things happen.
Now, was the sex good though?
Girl. Well, I'm gonna let the minds wonder about that. I don't know if I'm gonna give you an answer.
But now that dip of the head though, because I'm just saying, because sometimes we're overlooked as women. Because I hear you say age is a factor. You know, you marrying young, nobody knows who they really are.
You don't.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But a lot of times, young relationships, younger people in relationships, they get caught up in the sex. They get caught up in, I want a husband, I want a wife, you know what I'm saying? And her coochie good, you know what I'm saying? And, and it's all of this physical entanglement. Yeah. And we don't think about the spiritual or the mental aspect. And so, and I say that to, if you're a young couple, if you're young and you're looking at this episode and you're hearing this and you're contemplating getting in a marriage, man, you got to check the boxes.
Check the boxes. Yeah, really understand what your deal breakers are. Yeah, really know what you want. Know yourself. That's the biggest issue. I did not know myself. Yeah. And at that age, you're talking about having a baby early and trying to do what society and the family wants you to do. Right. People pleasing. Right. And not knowing what you really want to do because you don't know yourself. Right. And that was the situation. Like, I have no ill feelings against my ex at all. Right. It was just something that was probably really not meant to be. You get caught up, like you said, in the penis. Yeah, yeah.
Girl, I done got caught up plenty of times with the penis.
You too.
Okay, but anyway, I'm waiting to talk about that a little later. But yeah, right.
You get caught up, and you are doing what you think other people want you to do. For me, I was pleasing my family. Okay, that didn't take away the sin that had been committed, right? Right. The sin was still there, but okay, Mary, this is a good person. And I didn't know who I was. Right. I did not know who I was. And that's okay, because it was a learning process. Right. I would not be who I am today if I had not had that marriage. Right. That was just the time of growing. It was a long season, right? 25 years, but it was a time of growing and transformation to now create me to be the wife that I want to be in my next marriage.
And that's good. I feel sometimes you will find yourself when you look at the fact that you're lost and you don't know yourself. And a lot of times relationships will show you that. You know, I'm grateful. I said, I posted something, I was like, I think it was today, on Facebook, and I said, 2 divorces, 2 baby daddies, countless sub-zeros, and 1 hero. And I became the hero to all of those unhealthy choices that I made. However, in those unhealthy choices, because I didn't know who I was, I had to learn who and discover who I truly was, to become a hero and a rescuer to my own problems or situations, or so I became everything that I wanted another man or a man to be. So and I say another man because I'm single, right? And I don't need another man in this season. I need to know the duality of me and heal the masculinity in me that I allowed other masculine energies to destroy. And it first started with my father, and so I am learning how to heal the thing that I wanted my father to be, that because he was broken and he didn't know how to really be a husband, a father, because he was broken because of his father and all of these different things that, and same thing with my mom. My mom, she attracted all these broken men who were, on drugs and who were abusers physically, sexually. They just jacked up. And so looking at the masculine roles coming up through my childhood, and watching my mother be everything for a man, being a provider, her husband in prison for 15 years, and she taking care of him, and it's just like, wow. So you come into life or a lifestyle with a more masculine energy, and you don't know how to balance that thing out. I did not know how to balance that thing out. And at first, I didn't even know that I had a masculine energy. Okay, so let's start here.
Yeah, well, because we raised to be independent, right? I just had this conversation with my dad yesterday about, he raised us to be independent, and that's a great thing. But independence sometimes breeds masculinity.
Yes,
and not knowing how to pull back and let someone do something for you. Because you're taught to be, for me, it was go to college, get a degree, be able to take care of yourself. That benefits somebody else, sometimes not just you. Yeah. So again, it's how we're reared, and as women, we just have to make things happen sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think we get into that mode of making things happen, and that's when we don't allow a man to do what he needs to do.
Right. We're too busy trying to be the man.
Yeah.
And and my understanding, I'm so glad, I'm grateful for these 4 years. I know you just recently became single. Your divorce was finalized. Like, what, 2 weeks? It's been 2 weeks? 2 weeks. My God, how you feel? You feel free?
I do. Well, what I always say to people is, oftentimes, unfortunately, the divorce is already there before you even file.
This is true.
It's already there. You've already been through it. And in my case, the grieving took place while the marriage was still on paper.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to swallow. It really is. But when you file, it's for most people, it's already
done. It's already done.
So I don't feel like it is 2 weeks of being single. It had been single for a while.
Gotcha.
The attachment was not there.
Gotcha.
And I think being as masculine as I was in the marriage, it felt very isolated anyway. Almost like sometimes I was there by myself. And again, I'm that's the part of me that I'm owning, the part that I played in it.
Right.
But it was already in process, it was just more of a formality to get it done.
Right.
Yeah.
So okay. So my story is I've been single for almost 4 years. December 25th of this year will make it 4 years. I left my ex-husband, my first husband. He wanted to remarry me, and we got engaged in 2021. And I knew listen, I wasn't spinning the block. He was still a broken man and unhealed, and I still had issues, trauma, dealing with, and so I decided to leave him. And in deciding to leave him, God was like, "Give me 2 years." And in the midst of those 2 years, I had to face my duality. I was confronted with my duality, like, why I was so rigid and so hard and so non-emotional.
Right.
Because when you have to operate in your masculinity as a woman, it takes you further away from your like I said, the nurturing part of it. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that you and I stayed in a nurturing place because we have children. But if I had any children, man, I would be cold as ice, as Rick James.
Exactly.
Cold as ice.
Yeah. My profession keeps me nurturing too.
My God.
Because I'm always trying to help others.
Yeah.
But that also is a downfall because I'm so busy always helping others that I don't often let others help me.
Right.
So it's learning now that balance of pulling back. Like, you cannot solve anybody. You can only control you.
Right.
Don't give advice when it's not asked for.
Right.
Those are just different things that, in this healing process, again, because I'm not going into my next relationship broken. I really spent time, over the last year doing a lot of self-work.
Wow.
Identifying those things that were at the root. How did I become codependent? Where did it start? Because it started somewhere.
Right.
Really doing that self-work, and I employ anyone to do the self-work and acknowledge what is there.
Oh my God.
That's the part that people don't want to do, is acknowledge what is not perfect with you or perfect in your life or perfect with your family.
Right.
Acknowledge it, because you can't move on until then.
Yeah.
So I consider myself healed, but always healing.
Right.
Healed, but always healing, because healing should be continuous.
Absolutely.
It should be continuous. It never stops. There's always a way to improve.
Yes.
Something that you can learn, something that you can change. But I do it for me.
Right.
From a place of me satisfying me versus trying to satisfy someone else.
Right. That's good. Having to nurture yourself in the midst of finding out things that you may not like about yourself is so important. And that was my thing. I was my medication going through discovering a lot of different things about me in those 2 years. I smoked a lot of weed.
Okay.
Girl, I smoked a lot of weed, which allowed my brain to slow down, and I sat in nature with it. And I found myself like, oh my God, I want to build this, like physically build. I want to build this. I want to do, and nothing was soft. I didn't want to do nothing soft. Everything was like, I just want to do it rough. Like Tina Turner said, nice and rough. You know what I'm saying?
That's that masculinity, girl.
Right.
You was still stuck there.
Everything was rough.
Yeah.
And then on top of the fact that I'm from New York. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like very aggressive.
Girl, they say we get aggressive in Chicago too. So,
but now, you know what? I feel a little. I'm gonna call it assertiveness.
Okay.
But I do feel the docileness about you.
Okay.
I sense the docileness.
It took work to get there, because that part of me was not there and was not visible.
Yeah. That's what I feel right now. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
And so I'm coming into that the docileness, the soft. I want to be softer. Again, you cannot because you start to feeding your feminine energy, or let me talk about me. I'm starting to feed my feminine energy more than my masculine, because one, it's soft in there, and mother is getting up in age. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'll be 52 in a few days, and so I'm like, hold up, okay, Paula, okay, listen. So let him get the door, let him carry the bags, let him do this.
That chivalry is real, girl, and it feels good.
Girl, is you experiencing that on some level like this right there? Like, I see, girl, I see. Oh, listen, you done came up on something. What you say? You been single for a long time. Oh my God, girl, you telling the story. She's trying to spill tea, y'all. Let me go on the sip right now.
We're gonna let the tea stay in the cup.
Okay. Not the tea stay in the cup. Okay, we're gonna let it stay in the cup. But listen, I am learning to feed her more.
Right.
And it feels good. But I want to say this. I'm like, man, I can't wait to talk about this duality thing and me discovering that I have both sides, because it showed in my intimate moments with a man, to where I felt more I was the aggressor. I do, right? So even now, I feel like I'm the one that want to, flip him over, rough him up, have, 50 shades of gray. You know what I'm saying? Let me tie you up, let me beat you. And so I'm just like, man, that's crazy, but it's not crazy.
It's not. It is not. That is okay.
Yeah.
That is who you are. Yeah. It's finding the balance.
Yeah, in the balance, right?
That's the key thing. And having boundaries too, right?
Yeah.
Of how you want that. It is okay to take charge. And I think we do have to remember that for those of us who have more of a masculine side.
Yeah.
We still need to remember, even though we're learning to tame that a little bit, it is okay to still lead sometimes.
Yeah, I love leading. But I found out, I do love leading. In this season, however, I want to be led.
I do too.
I do. It's just like, I'm finding out.
I want to support. I want to, that's the thing, right?
Yes.
If he's leading, let's support him while he's leading.
Yeah, I'm going to support him. I'm a support.
Yeah,
like,
listen,
I'm a support. Like, what can I help you to help me?
You
know what I'm saying? So,
help us, right?
Yeah, help us.
How to fight for the relationship together. The fight that occurs needs to be the fight for the relationship,
right?
Not on the issue, right?
That's good.
The fight for the relationship.
But I'm gonna tell you what most men that I've encountered, they say, I just want to be heard. Yeah. Like, listen to me. And when women are in their masculine energy, they don't like to listen. Because they like, I got this.
That was me.
You don't know what you're talking about. I got this. And they just looking like, okay.
What am I here for?
Right. Or they do want to express their emotions. I was intimate with this guy. I ain't gonna say when and how far ago it was. But who? I ain't spilling that to you.
Okay, good.
But he started crying in the midst of the moment. And if I wasn't tapped in, I would have been like, well, what is you crying about?
Well, you would have called him weak.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
We emasculate. You do know that, right?
Yes.
And that's one of the things, God convicted me of. Emasculation. I'm not going into my next relationship with that.
Yeah.
But you're right. You saw him cry, and your response was everything.
It was. And so I gently, I'm like, are you okay? And I had a great concern, because I'm just like, man,
you probably had never seen that.
I've never seen it.
Because men aren't supposed to cry, right? That's what we say.
And especially during this moment. And he said something, his response really kind of like took me somewhere else. And he said, this feels so healing. Tye, I mean, this thing is about to make me emotional right now, because women, there are women out there that really don't know how powerful they are, like the assignment, the spiritual assignment that God has put on the inside of us to nurture and to heal our men, our children. And when we're not healed, they can't receive that from us. And so because the man that I was sexually involved with, intimately involved with, he got the healed version of me. So that sexual encounter is different from me being, 5 years, 20 years ago when I just operated in all this masculine energy.
Exactly.
And there was no release of healing.
Yeah.
During sexual intercourse and I felt it. He wasn't just saying words just to be like, to just boost my head up or to, but no, I saw it. And I was like, whoa.
There was something you hadn't seen. And here's the thing, would you had even recognized it if you wasn't healed already?
Right.
That's the key. That healing is something else.
It is.
Because when you do, you are able to recognize things and respond appropriately. And you're right, we as women, we got something to say all the time. We can, oftentimes we are not good listeners because we got so much to say, right? We know the answer. And we already on to giving the answer versus listening.
Yeah. So in the others, so I'm grateful you said that. Also, women, we don't listen to hear, we listen to respond.
That's correct.
So he can say something, we already got what we want to say in our head, and what I feel like that does, it just chops him down.
It does.
It chops him down, and I had to learn, seriously. Scripture says to be slow to speak and quick to hear.
And slow to anger.
Right. Oh my God. So yes. Being in my heal place, and as I'm still healing, I have exercised that, to where things that would have gotten me upset in past, it's just like now it's like I just get quiet and just allow God to minister. And I'm telling you, like, there are several suitors out there that I sit with now. I think I want to say this. Okay, no, I'm just going to say there's several suitors out there. I was about to spill the tea, drink the tea. But anyway, however, I'm learning how to receive words from a man and me not get angry on something that I'm like, sir, that is not it.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of discipline. It takes balance. But I'm going to tell you what it also takes. It takes a relationship with God and knowing the word of God.
Yes.
Like for real. If you want, I'm not talking about you going to church with your spouse, because there's a difference between
religion and relationship.
Tye,
we can have a whole podcast.
Listen. Oh,
separately.
Listen. We're going to have you back on that right there. But yeah. So God, in your relationship, whether you are dating, courting, married, in any situation, any moment, and you feel like this may be a heated situation, all you got to do is lend your ear to God's voice.
Yes.
And God will tell you quickly, okay, don't say nothing right now. Or if there needs to be something said, it's how you say it. Put a little honey on that thing. Stay out of the vinegar jar. Put a little honey on
it. It's reading the room. Knowing when to say it.
Baby, know when to say it.
When to say it. And that's the part we forget to. Wow. When it comes to the head, you want to release it off the lips. And that's not what you always need to do.
No.
There's an appropriate time and an appropriate place.
But I'm learning this because I've learned this because I've learned how to balance my duality. Balance, like it, and it's like a balance beam, and this is every day. You gotta balance that energy out. Those energies, those two energies that are competing. Like I feel the competition
I
between.
I do too. It's that self check. Like, every day.
Yes.
Do a little bit. Okay, what's going on with me?
Yeah.
So that you show up. Because here's the thing: who you are and what you display and portray is the type of man you're gonna attract.
My God.
The type of man you gonna attract, honey.
That's good.
So
that's good. Right
that is the piece right there. When you are healed, you will attract the right man. But you gotta be healed first. Oftentimes we jump back out there, right? And we haven't worked on ourselves. We have not identified what went wrong the last 2, 5, 10 times in relationships.
Yeah.
And we jump back out there and we not healed.
Man. So I do want to say this in defense of our men out there, you watching this, and I want to admit and to help you realize that because you were broken, you chose broken women.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to take time out if you're divorced, if you're single, take time out to study what a healed woman looks like, how she moves, or how she thinks. I had Neff on the show, and she said that she studied men like a course.
Okay.
So I was like, that's a good one. Yeah. I say give a man 4 seasons, but she said to study a man like a course, and I would make that same suggestion to you, Sir King. Study the woman. I mean, she may be fine as wine. She may be thicker than a Snicker. She may have some good coochie. But what I would say is study her mental, study her spirit, man. Study what comes out of her mouth. Study how she responds. You know, and you gotta study how she responds.
Yes.
Because how she responds to you is how she's gonna respond to your children. To situations. You know, she's gonna respond from those broken places. And especially if you are on your healing journey or you desire to be healed, getting a woman is not going to be the answer. You got to already do the work, and she should have already either done the work or she started the work, and that's going to be the glue to keep the relationship together.
Right, I agree. I was not going back out there broken.
My God,
because if I went out there broken, I would attract a broken man. I was not going back out there. I decided that a few years ago. I was not going back out into the dating scene broken. Yeah.
I'm grateful. So, and this is, I feel like this is another episode too. I'm grateful that I'm attracting healed women who are on their healing journey because I'm going to tell you, because I understand the balance of my duality, and I just kind of share the situation with you. You know, my masculine energy sometimes want to backslap women.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, girl, you can't hit her, you can't punch her, you can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't be aggressive, and you attract what you are.
Very much so.
And so I'm grateful that I attracted you in my life, and because I feel your duality, and this is why it took so long to get those questions to you, because I was trying to figure out like what's a great topic to discuss with this special woman in my life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I had to wait because I'm sitting there like trying to figure questions. I was like, I had to really wait, and I'm so glad that I was sensitive enough to wait on the topic and the questions for this episode with you. Because I feel like this is helping both of us out. I mean, it's helping them out, but it's definitely helping me out.
I was going to say, if nothing else, I'm hoping that this episode will help someone do some introspection. Yeah. Really surveying yourself to see if you have masculine energy and how much and how it shows up.
But not if they do.
They do, correct. They do.
Every bit.
That's a good point, because I think sometimes people don't acknowledge. Right, yeah, you're absolutely right. We have it, just like I talked about everybody having trauma. Yeah, and not really acknowledging it.
But I'm gonna tell you something. So I have friends who are in the LGB
with the rest of the alphabet.
No, right? Yeah, and I love them. I love them, especially the men. Yeah, you know, And one thing I've studied, I studied their duality.
Okay.
And it's really not an act when a man goes into that feminine energy the way that he does.
Yeah.
Because it's in him. And he's feeding that feminine energy more than he's feeding his masculinity. And it's just like when a woman who desires to become a lesbian. I want to make sure I use the right term.
Lesbian is correct. Yeah.
Lesbian. She's going to feed more of her masculine energy than her feminine, and so this is why she becomes more masculine. Even her features are talking, because everybody's not taking those
No,
treatments.
They're not. Hormones.
Hormone. Thank you.
Nope.
Everybody's not taking that. There's just women and men who know how to naturally get to that, because it's all energy.
It's who they are.
It's all energy.
It's the chemical makeup of who they are. How God created them.
Yeah, and so exactly. God gave us this duality energy.
Yeah.
It's just I say this: whatever you feed the most is what you'll become.
Very much so. Very much so. I agree.
You know, I love my gowns. I love being. First of all, I love being a woman. I'm just gonna tell you, I love my gowns. I love everything royal, regal, queenly. I love it. And then I also love my jumpers, my hoodies, my caps,
my
jeans. You know what I'm saying? And then today is like, oh man, it's a perfect day to put on this jumper. You know what I'm saying? And put on me some, not Timbs. I don't have no damn Timbs on, but I got I forgot the name of these boots. But anyway, I thank you. I was just like, yeah, I want to feel a little rough, rugged energy on me today.
It's about being who you are.
Yeah.
And when you want to be who you are.
When you want to
be.
We change. And celebrate it. Let me tell you something. I celebrate my duality. I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm setting myself up, Tye, so I gotta tell you this. I'm setting myself up to be in a relationship with a man. Now I didn't say marriage though. I don't want to get married. But I do want to right. Give me a man, baby. Give me a man. Okay, give me a man. Okay. You getting it, girl. I was ready to give it to you today too. I was like, honey, I gotta let her know I want a man. So I'm preparing myself.
And it takes prep work.
Yeah.
Honestly, in all you have to prepare.
Yeah.
You know, I listened to a sermon of Pastor Daniels from Change Church about walking in your singleness.
Yes.
And the things that you can do when you're single and the time that you can spend with God when you're single versus when you start dating or you're not single. You'll still have time with God, but it's going to look a little different. You walked in that season and prepare yourself. It is about preparation. It is about preparation.
It is. You know, and then I had to figure out, you know, at this big age, I'm like, okay, how often do I want to cook for a man? Look, I be thinking of all that stuff. How often do I want to cook? How often do I want to be bothered? Because I fell in love with myself, and I formed this union with myself as a marriage. Like I married myself, and it's just like, and then I discovered how I needed to be loved, and it's just like, woo, I need love, as LL Cool J said, I need love. But I need love like this. And I'm healed enough to sit down across from a man now and say, this is how I want to be loved. This is how I have to be loved. And I'm not settling for anything else. And are you mentally, physically, are you spiritually, you know, can you handle that? You know, I also have been talking to men about my duality when it comes to the bedroom. Because I'm like, this is how I like it. This is what I love. I don't want to be surprising you, but I also don't want, if this is what I choose to do with you, and I got to put this out, because this is T-Town color. If this is what I desire to give to you or you give to me, are you comfortable in your sexuality that you're not going to want to seek this outside of our entanglement or relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we gotta be honest.
All those pieces have to come together.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, I tell people relationships don't just survive on love. There are
No.
other pieces. Love is a major component,
Yeah.
but there are other pieces that need to come together.
Communication.
Mm-hmm.
Communication and also knowing your role.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
know your role. Like, I didn't know my role.
I didn't know mine either.
Girl.
No. But now I do.
You know
and
your
it's
role.
practicing it. So now it's time for you to get out there and practice it,
Yeah,
right? Because that's what happens. We do all this stuff work, and then do we get out there and practice? Because you don't really know how you're going to respond till you practice.
I was scared to get back out there. I'm be honest. I was scared. I was like, hell no.
And at this age, it's hard.
Girl,
dating looks a whole lot different.
Wait, well, I'm going to tell you something about us, though. Because black don't crack. Because you, baby, you look good. You don't look like what you've been through, Suge. You came in this place, you came in the greenhouse looking glowy, okay? I was like, you better go with your fine self. Honey, she came here, listen.
You gotta look like what you going through.
New attitude.
Not what you going through, but what you going to.
Ooh, that's good. What you going to?
Mm-hmm.
There's a song. Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to? That's Diana Ross.
That's a true statement.
Man.
Cause why do you want somebody who look like they going through something?
I know. Girl,
I don't fix people anymore.
Girl.
So
but that's what
nobody can fix me.
But that's what men like to do. Mm-hmm. Men like to fix things. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna let y'all go and fix it. Because we gonna be on the side. We ain't coming in and trying to fix nothing. I ain't trying to fix nobody's child. No. Mm-hmm. It's a job. It's a huge responsibility to continue to maintain. Mm-hmm. To do my maintenance on me, and I need him to do his maintenance on him. You know, and that's good that
you all can do the work together.
Right. Mm-hmm. So listen, that's a great place as far as communication. Please. Let her know where you are. Let her understand your feminine side, not just your masculine side. Let her know that you're tapped into your femininity, your emotions. That's a healthy relationship, as she should do the same. You know, and communication. Just this is who I am.
Yeah, being vulnerable. Like, and that is where I still work. Because when you're so masculine, you're not vulnerable.
That's true. This is true.
So that is where I work each week. When I work with my therapist, I'm like, okay, let me start working on vulnerability.
So you have therapist?
Oh, of course. Of course.
The therapist got a therapist.
Yes.
Because a coach needs a coach.
That's correct.
My God.
That's correct.
Oh my God. This is powerful. Listen, y'all got a lot today. Okay, this was really, really good. So what would be your last words? We didn't really get to any of those questions because I didn't feel like we needed to, but just we needed this topic. What would be your final words to someone out there who they're questioning their duality? They feel confused. Let me say they feel confused. On their duality, because like I said, some people don't even know that they have duality energy in them.
Yeah, I would say first just put God first, because he will clarify a lot of things for you. That Holy Spirit, let me tell you, the Holy Spirit has said some things to me that has just blew my mind. So I would say start there, but the clarification also comes from being open. Be open to receive from someone else, right? So if you think that you are imbalanced between masculinity and femininity, be open to receive.
Yeah.
Whether it's from a therapist, whether it's from, and it doesn't have to be a therapist. There are enough people who don't even have letters behind their name that have experience in life that can help you with that. But you gotta be open and really be able to take some accountability for it. And once you open up, then you got to say, okay, what is revealed to me, I'm ready to start working on and fixing.
Yeah.
Because once it's revealed to you, then you got to take the next step and figure out what you need to do.
Yeah.
And that masculine energy is just that. It's strong. It's powerful. and it's not going to go away overnight. It's not going to ever go away, but it's learning how to manage it appropriately.
Yeah. To manage it.
To manage it.
And I'm grateful that my responsibility is to myself and to manage my duality. And it feels so good. There's freedom there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of freedom there.
It's so free.
Yeah.
It's so free.
Yeah.
It is just so free to be responsible for just you.
Yeah.
To understand the things that you can control.
Yeah.
That's the problem with masculinity. You feel like you need to control everything.
This is true. I was a control freak for real. Like I would.
Me too. Me too.
Listen, you 25 years in your marriage, you was a control freak, but I was trying to control everybody in and outside of relationship. I was mean with it.
But you probably was not feeling safe. We oftentimes control things when we don't feel safe. Because I'm not naturally a controlling person. But what I can say is I did not feel safe.
That's good.
And I'm not talking about safety just from not being physically hurt. I'm talking about emotionally, spiritually, financially. If you don't feel safe, then the body goes into controlling mode. When you don't feel safe. Because I'm not naturally controlling. I like to sit and take the back seat and let somebody lead. But what I did realize is I was not always feeling safe. And so my response was to jump into control mode versus working with the problem that I really had is that I did not feel safe.
Girl.
So that is the key right there. It is about you control. Now, some people are just controlling. My control came from a place of not feeling safe. I don't need to be in control of everything. I know how to sit to the side, sit in the back seat. I know how to let somebody else lead. I know how to be a team player. Like I had those. The controlling comes out when I don't feel safe.
Yeah. You took me all the way back to my childhood.
Right. That's where it starts. The attachment. How you attach as a child. Secure, anxious attachment. Read the attachment styles. And if you don't attach, now that can be corrected, right? We often do not attach in a secure attachment as a child. Ideally, you want that to happen, but it does not always happen. So when you don't attach, you bring that into these relationships, and it's a safety. You're not a control freak. It was a safety issue for you.
Wow.
You can't trust anybody with your finances, right? He might not pay the bill, so let me jump in there and do it.
Oh my God.
I don't want my feelings to be hurt, so let me protect myself. Let me not say this to him. Let me just hold it in. That comes from the work that you do with inside, realizing you don't feel safe.
Wow.
And when you start to feel safe with another man, it's a weird feeling.
Wow.
It's a very weird feeling. But it's a feeling that is appropriate and that we need to get used to. Because safety is how we survive. You can't operate in a state of not feeling safe.
Right.
That's just not what you want to do.
My God. So. Y'all done heard it from the doctor's mouth. Yo, that's it.
That's it. It's a wrap, girl. We done it. We got to have some more tea time, though.
Listen, this right here was so powerful. And I keep saying, man, the last episode was good, but oh my God, this one right here. I think I want to give us some segment times. Like this is good, and it's good because you are a professional, but no, it's better because you're my friend and you're my sister, and I feel safe having these types of conversation or a conversation.
Right.
And being vulnerable enough to share with the world, and so they can get some type of inspiration, hope, an answer, a concept, an idea of where they are in their lives. And I feel like this all of that happened just now, and I hope you that are watching, that you take this as a part of your healing journey, because that's what you just fed on. You fed on this healing conversation, and this is what healing looks like. You know, and I just appreciate the genuineness, the sincerity of your conversation. And I love that this podcast, this show is not about, it's not about numbers, it's not about ratings, it's not about what she got on, or you know, that's not what this is.
Yeah.
This is like authentic tea time and healing through the Greenhouse Project. Thank y'all so much for joining us today. Tye, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. And you know, every time I sit and talk with you, you know, you put goosebumps all over me a lot of times. Because you are just that woman of God. And the things that you speak, I know that God had to tell you. Because you'll speak some stuff to me that I'm like, how'd she know that?
Wow.
So, you know, that anointing, keep working in your purpose, your anointing. This is you right here. This is you ministering.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, and I receive. I receive my feminine energy receives all of that. I love you.
I love you too.
And until next time, y'all, we gotta have Dr. Tye back on, cause baby, listen, there's a lot that needs to be said. And so join us. Please like, share, subscribe, comment below. Dr. Tye's information will be down in the description box if you need to reach out to her. Then please connect. We need to probably do you a podcast, honey, because listen, tea time. No, we ain't gonna call it tea time. We're gonna call, I don't know what we're gonna call it, but it's gonna be something with the doctor. God. But anyway, we love y'all and thank you so much for listening. Peace. Girl, look, not.